You're listening to KSG Podcast. This is a short, crisp, concise, exam-oriented, edited editorial for civil services aspirants. In this podcast, we are going to talk about UNDP report on poverty. Source for the content is Asit Ranjan Mishra's article for the Business Standard. India's multidimensional poverty fell by 140 million between 2015 to 2016 and 2019 to 2021, compared to a decline of 275 million between 2005 to 2006 and 2015 to 2016, according to the latest assessment by the United Nations Development Programme, that is UNDP. Using the latest data from the National Family Health Survey, the report said multidimensional poverty declined faster from 2015 to 2016 to 2019 to 2021 at 11.9% year on year, coinciding with the rule of National Democratic Alliance government, as against an 8.1% per year fall from 2005 to 2006 to 2015 to 2016 that mostly corresponds with the years of the previous United Progressive Alliance government. This is unsurprising because relative poverty reduction is easier to achieve when starting levels of poverty are lower, the report said. The Global Multidimensional Poverty Index, or MPI, released by the UNDP and the Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative, OPHI, looks beyond income as a measurement of poverty to understand how people experience poverty in different aspects of their daily lives through three parameters: health, education, and standard of living, which are further divided into 10 indicators. The MPI value for India fell from 0.283 in 2005 to 2006 to 0.122 in 2015 to 2016, then further to 0.069 in 2019 to 2021, in sync with the decline in the incidence of poverty from 55.1% to 27.7% to 16.4%. In roughly 15 years, the MPI value, the incidence of poverty and deprivations among poor people in the 10 MPI indicators were each more than halved, the report added. Still, the UNDP said despite tremendous gains made by India, the ongoing task of ending poverty for the 228.9 million poor, the largest globally in 2019 to 2021, is daunting, especially as the number has nearly certainly risen since the data were collected. The report said the effects of COVID-19 pandemic on poverty in India cannot be fully assessed because 71% of data points from the 2019 to 2021 NFHS for the country were collected before the pandemic. According to recent estimates by the World Bank, around 56 million Indians might have plunged into extreme poverty in 2020 as a result of the pandemic, contributing to the 71 million increases in the global tally. To be sure, the World Bank does not measure multidimensional poverty, and its poverty estimates are based on an income of $2.15 per day at purchasing power parity. Now, the UNDP said it is clear that multiple policy actions and schemes underpin the improved results in India. There have been visible investments in boosting access to sanitation, cooking fuel, and electricity, indicators that have seen large improvements. A policy emphasis on universal coverage, for example, in education, nutrition, water, sanitation, employment, and housing, likely contributed to these results, it added. Rural urban disparities are stark in multidimensional poverty reduction. The percentage of people who are poor is 21.2% in rural areas against 5.5% in urban areas. Rural areas account for nearly 90% of poor people. 205 million of the nearly 229 million poor people live in rural areas, making them a clear priority, the report said. Bihar, the poorest state in 2015 to 2016, saw the fastest reduction in the incidence of poverty from 77.4% in 2005 to 2006 to 52.4% in 2015 to 2016 to 34.7% in 2019 to 2021. The UNDP said across states and union territories, the fastest reduction in relative terms was in Goa, followed by Jammu and Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Rajasthan. In relative terms, the poorest states have not caught up. Of the 10 poorest states in 2015 to 2016, only one, West Bengal, was not among the 10 poorest in 2019 to 2021. The rest, Bihar, Jharkhand, Meghalaya, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, and Rajasthan, remain among the 10 poorest. That's it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. To join KSG India courses and to crack the IELTS exam, visit ksgindia.com. You can also get a PDF of this podcast on ksgindia.com. Thanks for listening.